Hi, welcome to Family Law Friday presented by Florida Women's Law Group. My name is Betsy Corbett and I'm in the marketing department. Family Law Friday is designed to be a resource for all women with a family law issue. Today we will be discussing what you need to do to prepare for your initial consultation and when looking for an attorney for your divorce. Before we get started, I wanted to give you a little information about our host, Heather Quick. Heather is the founder and owner of Florida Women's Law Group that advocates for women in North Florida. The firm educates and empowers women on the law so that they can find the strength to endure the process and end up better financially and emotionally. She's been a licensed Florida attorney for the last 20 years, with most of her practice being in family law. Please join me in welcoming Heather Quick to Family Law Friday.
Thank you so much, Betsy, and thank you all for watching. So at Florida Women's Law Group, we represent women only going through divorce, and we have found that this has been a great way to deliver some content, some education to really help women prepare for divorce and deal with various situations they have been going through. And of course, one of the first things you need to do if you're contemplating divorce, you're ready for a divorce, is hire an attorney. And today I want to talk a little bit about, well, how do you do that, and what should you expect from your attorney, and maybe how to prepare for that meeting or that conversation, particularly if you've never done that before. Even if you've maybe been involved with lawyers for business transactions, real estate, wills and trusts, it's a little bit different, and that's why I'm hoping this will help you to look for things that matter to you. So that's the great first thing. What matters to you when you're going through a divorce? Is it to protect yourself and your children, really to ensure your financial well-being, and make sure it's done right? And then you need to find an attorney who shares those, values, but also has that experience to help you achieve your outcome. Because divorce can vary from very amicable, a simple divorce that has, maybe no children, no property, to a very complex case where there are businesses, many assets, children with special needs, multiple properties. That takes a lot of experience, knowledge, and the right team to help you get the best outcome. So that's the first thing. You really want to know, hey, have you dealt with situations like mine before? And that's a great question to ask when you are even looking to set an appointment or looking for an attorney. It's great to have a referral from a friend. That's a wonderful way. Many people start that way, but come on, let's be honest. We all go to Google. I do that so many times. It's like, what is the best, nail salon? What is the best? And I would imagine that we all do. So, you should get a lot of information out of most attorneys' websites. I know ours is filled with information because we understand that there may be quite a long time before the contemplation of divorce until you actually take that first step. And in that time, and during that, when you're contemplating, not sure, it's great to educate yourself. And just like these videos, like that's the purpose, because I believe that the more you know, the better questions you're going to ask, and the better able you will be to participate in the process. Because hire an attorney to say, now I don't have to deal with it, it's really not a great idea, because then they're going to do what they think's right and what's best, which could end up great for you, but maybe that's not what you wanted at all. So you got to be willing to participate, answer questions, and want to, want a good result at the end, and be able to imagine that maybe even if you didn't want this divorce, hey, they're looking out for where I'm going to be 3 to 5 years from now. And even if I'm not able to see it, they are looking there for me. That's really important, because going through a divorce is extremely emotional and very difficult. really, no matter how amicable or how adversarial, or if you've been separated a long time or not, married a long time or not, it's difficult, and we understand that. So you definitely, when going to seek an attorney, you want to ask them, one, if they've dealt with your types of situations, and who do they have in the office to help, like when you need to talk to somebody. What kind of support staff do they have? Because there are gonna be times when you have questions and your lawyer's not available, but you really want to have somebody there who can, even if they can't answer your question, they can, make sure they can get it answered or get you in touch with your attorney. So those are things that are really important, because although a lot of things are remote these days, we're still having hearings and life still goes on, and it's hard for one person to manage all of that as your attorney. So you certainly are looking for ways that, that they have other people that can help you in the office, and also the different billable rates. When you go see an attorney, it's going to cost money, and I know this is a cliche, but like, you get what you pay for. Like, if they're not charging you anything, you got to wonder what you're getting out of it. And that's just my perspective. But giving away something for free, and how much value is there in that? I have found most people don't value free advice, because it's pretty much worth what they paid for it. And we don't do that here, because it's too important to us for somebody who really wants information, a strategy, a plan, to come here and meet with us. But that's just my philosophy. And I value your time as well. So I want to make sure, hey, we're both committed to this time to discuss, where you are now and where you want to be. And that's what you should be talking to your attorney about. That's what they should be asking you. And understand that you don't know what you don't know. So I have had many clients say, well, I never thought of that. They didn't ask me that. Well, and it's not your job to tell the attorney everything. They are to ask you questions. And sometimes they're difficult questions, but that's the attorney who's looking at you holistically through this divorce, and they're thinking about you not just now and getting through the division of assets and liabilities, but hey, what is your life going to look like afterwards? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to be? What about the kids? How, is your life going to change? And have you considered that? And that helps determine how to strategize through the divorce, frankly. And those are the kind of conversations and questions you want to ask your attorney. Like, what strategy will we have? How will we achieve these goals? And that may not be all the questions that they're going to have for you in a consultation, because they don't have all the information. That's really a time to determine whether or not you think this is a person you can trust, who understands your issues and will work to solve your problems. But as you go through, you want to know if that is part of the process, really helping you understand why we're doing what we're doing, and, understanding the mechanics of your particular case, your issues, whether or not you're going to need experts or not. And is there, what are the two paths? There's always, well, I say always, but the path of least resistance, where, hey, is there a way we can make this more amicable? You can always try. And trust me, like, there are times where, we see it's going to be that way. And that's really great for clients, that we can, as long as you have the knowledge you need to make decisions on the finances and children, then if we can come to an agreement, that's great. But that's not always possible. And sometimes, even though that's what you want, the other side doesn't want that. And, it's a two-way street, both parties. You can't force another side to agree and come to an agreement. So sometimes you do have to go to trial, and you have to present the case to the judge. So, and that's outside of your control. It's outside of the attorney's control if your husband won't settle. Like, it just is. Now we can try to pick the best mediators. We can try to present enough evidence that maybe they see, where their exposure is and their risks. But at the end of the day, it's two people, and if you can't get to a compromise, you're going to have to go to a court. and you're going to have to go to the judge and have a trial. So you want to know if your attorney's prepared for that. And if they're willing to do that for you, if the agreements, if what they're offering is, is not really great for you, if that's your worst day in court, that you need to know that. You need to know that, and you need to know that your attorney is not, going to just compromise and say, hey, no, this is the best deal you get. It won't ever be better in court because they've been in court and know that. You want to know, hey, like if we really did really well, I think we'd end up here. If if you went by yourself or didn't show up, like this is the worst day. This is the middle ground that we know is within the area that would be reasonable if that's where we end up settling. So those are just some of the components, but the biggest thing truly is that when you meet with an attorney or their team, that you feel confident in trusting them, because the best attorney could be right there, and that you could have a great attorney, and I have done this many times before, and I've looked at this settlement agreement or something, and so this is a great agreement, like honestly, I don't know that I would have advised you different, but there was a mistrust. And then that's really hard, because then you're always second guessing yourself moving forward. So the trust, the rapport, the understanding, like, hey, this team can get this done for me, and I can identify with, their values, they understand mine. That is one of the, crucial, important things. I know it can be hard a little bit nowadays if everything's by Zoom and telephone, but we can still do it. And, do rely on your intuition some, and your gut that says, yeah, this is the one for me, or this isn't, even though it's painful in a way to like go to more than one attorney's office. You're thinking, oh my gosh, I have to shop around. But sometimes that may be, if your gut says no, then I do suggest you go with that, because you'll end up maybe regretting it. And the more, if you have to hire a second or third attorney, it slows down your case, and it is going to be more costly. So, of course we all want to do it right the first time, but to be inquisitive, to do your research, and really try to connect with the team is probably one of the most important things. So I hope this is helpful. And here at Florida Women's Law Group, I started this firm to help women really, maneuver through divorce successfully. And if you or someone is in that situation, we're here for you, and Betsy will tell you how.
Hi, thank you so much, Heather. If you're ready to get started with your divorce or you need some more information, please call us at Florida Women's Law Group. Our number is 904-241-0012, or go to our website, floridawomensLawGroup.com. Thank you, and we look forward to helping you.